Marrissa Ballard is an English communications major with 3 minors: film, English literature, and women, gender, and sexuality studies. She is a member of Sigma Theta Delta and the recipient of the English Communications Award earlier in today's ceremony. Please join me in welcoming Marrissa Ballard.
Thank you. I am honored to stand here today as one of your co-valedictorians and as a representative of the class of 2017. I'll admit that when I started writing this address, I wasn't quite sure what to say or what inspiration I could offer. So, like any millennial with digital technology at their fingertips, I turned to Google. Unfortunately, as many of you might have learned, the internet isn't always the best teacher, so my searches pretty much brought me back to square one. So allow me to start there, at square one, with the easy part, the congrats and the thank yous. Of course, I have to take this moment to first congratulate my fellow graduates, including my co-valedictorian, Kristen Stack. In my 4 years at Salve, I've been proud to be a part of the class of 2017, a class that I felt was academically impressive, heavily involved on campus, and always striving to make our community better. Even though many of us may be feeling nervous about our futures, one thing that may be comforting is that as we leave Salve, we get to invent new paths for ourselves, just like we did here. So, I wish all of you luck in your endeavors, and I look forward to hearing about your accomplishments in the future. I'd also like to take a moment to thank the wonderful faculty and staff here at Salve, including our president, Sister Jane, our provost, Scott Zeman, as well as everyone who makes all of our senior events possible. We truly appreciate it. I'd also like to take this moment to especially highlight the communications department, including Dr. Ramsey, Dr. Esch, and Dr. Harrington-Lueker, because with their guidance, I have grown immeasurably as a critical and creative thinker. Above everyone, though, I must offer thanks to my mother, who has made countless sacrifices for me to stand here with an education that has not only taught me a lot, but has transformed me into a completely different person. Mom, I will never be able to thank you enough for all that you've done, but to start, know that I hope to model the love and selflessness that you've shown me. I'm lucky also to say that love and selflessness have proved important not only in my personal relationships, but also here in my learning at Salve. These concepts, I think, lie in the foundation of this university, something you have all likely heard and will continue to hear this weekend, our Mercy mission. While we can all recite that pivotal line that we are to work for a world that is just, harmonious, and merciful, I think our Mercy mission is more than just the creed that is supposed to guide our time here. Living the Mercy mission requires an understanding that the world is not a just, merciful, or harmonious place, something that has become more apparent in the last few years. In acknowledging this, we must all realize our responsibility to live as empathetically as we can, especially in our divided and often chaotic political climate. The last few years have certainly shown us a lot about who we are or who we want to be, which is why I think the concepts of mercy and universal justice are particularly important right now. However, I also know that living compassionately is not easy, because it asks you to confront uncomfortable aspects of life, step beyond your own perspective, and be open to ideas that challenge your perceptions. Even so, I truly believe that if we are going to better our society, we will need to learn to see the world from each other's eyes and be aware of how our experience and our privilege has led us to where we are. It may seem like odd advice, but I encourage you to be angry and sad and disheartened, because these emotions mean that you're paying attention, and they can prove to be wonderful motivators for change. However, we will need more than anger and sadness, of course. We will need the will to remake ourselves, to always continue learning, in the hope that in doing so, we can remake the culture around us. Our generation has constantly heard that we are the ones that will need to make major changes, both policy-wise and culturally, to combat many of the issues facing us today. While this may lead to a sense of responsibility and even pressure, I also believe it speaks to our potential. So even though it may be difficult, I want to inspire you to take the Mercy mission, with all its complications and everything that it asks of us, with you into whatever profession or industry you enter. As Salve graduates, I implore you to consider the 5 critical concerns of mercy, women, the environment, racism, nonviolence, and immigration, and honor those concerns in the decisions you make. All of us have an important role to play in making our society more just, more compassionate, and more understanding. It is my hope that you will not take your role lightly and realize your potential to infinitely better the lives of others. Thank you.